hoping y'all could hear me. Can't look at you, but let me know if you can hear me. Can you hear me, Carolyn? Let me know if y'all can hear me. I don't know if this up to date. Everybody's speaking and stuff. It might be delayed. Okay, you can hear me. I guess some of y'all just not. It might be delayed because people saying hello and all of that. Wanting to pop on, on a little road trip and with the family, but so that's why I can't look at you. But I need to make use of my time because you know everybody on their podcast or sleeping. We're in the sprinter, and my oldest son got soccer. But I was saying on Saturday, this is for the Blessed Business Tribe. But so if you're not in the Blessed Business Tribe, if you're in the Blessed Tribe, or if you're just a subscriber, then you're getting to see this. It's a little bonus. And so I'm still doing this for the YouTube because we still got a few members in the Blessed Business Tribe on YouTube, even though we have the Patreon. Some people wanted to keep the Blessed Business Tribe on YouTube as well. And going forward, the Blessed Business Tribe videos, I'm going to try to post those as well to the Patreon page for the $10 and up Patreon supporters. But I did a post on this. I can't remember where, but I wanted to talk to you today about your natural gifts. And y'all got to forgive me because you know how service is sometimes, how service go in and out when you're on the road. So if it cut off, I just have to do it from the hotel tonight. But hopefully it goes okay. And here's the thing. One of the things I noticed is most of us have financial issues in the sense of managing our money. That's kind of a thing we see across the board is just struggling with budgeting, struggling with setting a budget and sticking to it. We struggle with living beneath our means, whatever that means, which I think honestly it means saving money and not overspending. So it shouldn't be called living beneath your means because you should be able to have the things that you can afford. And if you have the things that you can afford, then you are living at your means. And but semantics, living beneath your means is spending less than you make. And one of the biggest things that I see in our world is when you think about it and you really look at it, we are in this trap. We kind of in this trap, this cycle where you taught from a young age. You taught from elementary school all through grade school and in college. You taught how to read a book and how to study and study well enough so that you can then regurgitate the information onto a test. And some people can remember information, meaning they remember it going forward. My wife is one of those people who can remember because I see her teach our kids schoolwork that she did uh 20 years ago, and it's like, wow, how do you remember that? That's not how my mind worked in school. I remembered long enough to take the test to get an A or a B on the test, and then I let it go. But we are taught how to be systematic. We taught how to show up every day because if you are absent from school, you will get detention. If at a certain amount of absences, then you will get suspended. And if you miss too much school, you will get kicked out of the school. And in some places, your parent will be your parent will be put in jail if you miss too much school. So we taught how to show up. We taught how to study. We taught how to be systematic, and we taught how to earn a grade, to do a report. And so when you think about that, it prepares us for the real world. It prepares us to go into the world where 1% of the people own the businesses. And then the 99% is taught how to show up every day. Because if you miss days of work, you'll be written up. And if you continue to miss days of work, you'll be suspended. You continue to miss days of work, you'll be fired. You taught how to learn your job. So you go through training and you learn your job. And then you taught how to pass the test. You are evaluated every 3 months or every 6 months, and you evaluated on your performance. And then you can be elevated in the company. You could get a promotion. You could get a raise. You could get a new position. And so that's what the school system and the college, and that's all fine and dandy. But the thing is when the 1% who own the business decide that they want to do layoffs to save some money, or the market crashes, or a pandemic happens and things happen in the world, and then so things change, and your company has to let you go. And y'all let me know, can y'all still hear me okay? Yeah, because it's a bunch of trees around me. And your company decides to let you go. And then what do you do? So this is what I want you to understand. And this comes from my course, Entrepreneurship with Purpose, on TonyGassacademy.com. And I know some of you are already in there because I sold that course for $5 at one point. I think it might be $100 right now, which is 50% off, I think. You have a gift. We all have a gift. And a lot of people don't realize that we all have a gift. And what a gift is the thing that you can do that not everyone else can do. So the gift is that thing, it comes natural. It's something that you're really not taught. You're not taught your gift. The gift comes natural. So this is something that when you think back to childhood and you think about when you were with your friends or your cousins, what did you do? What were you asked to do? What did they have you doing? You could have been the one writing the poetry. You could have been one, you were the teacher when you play school. You could have been the cook when you play house. You could have been the dancer, the singer, the one who drew the pictures for people. Like when you think back to your gift, you could have been the one who did the cleaning up. When y'all had to clean up grandma's house, everybody said, hey, you help us clean up because you clean up the best. You could have been the one who did the organizing, the sewing, the creativity. And so when you think about a gift, this is something that it comes to you natural. And it can be developed. You can get better and better at it, but you have some intangibles around that gift. For myself, I was a writer and I learned how to write at a young age, meaning how to write poetry and how to write something that makes sense, but make the last word of each sentence rhyme in couplets. So two lines rhyming, the next two lines rhyming, the next two lines rhyming, but it makes perfect sense. And not everybody's mind thinks like that. So not everybody could write that type of poetry. And then if I needed to make every other line match, or if I need to write a haiku, or if I need to write in whatever it's called, couplets or quads or whatever you would call it, any type of poetry that we were taught, I was able to figure out how to write that poetry. And when it came to writing essays, I could articulate my thoughts on paper. But not every student could do that. And that's what I mean by a gift. Think about what you could do. And a lot of times people think that a gift has to be something crazy. People think a gift has to be something, like Michael Jackson or Beyonce. A gift could really be cleaning up. Like your brain has something in it that allows you to clean every crevice of a room without getting angry. And your brain actually enjoys the cleaning process or the organizing process, the counting process, the math of life. And so a gift literally can be anything. It's kind of like people who are gifted at cooking. We all can get a recipe and we can go and we can just try to follow that recipe and it may turn out well. But then you have some people who their taste palette just kind of innately knows what flavors go with what. And they can kind of eyeball the seasoning and they can season to taste without measuring. And it's just something that their brain does. But not everybody can do that. So this is the gift. What can you do that not everybody can do? And then when you identify the gift, you have to identify the market for it, the career for it. And you got to identify a way to make money from it. And it's not as easy as it sounds, but it's also not as hard as it may sound. Because when you look around, every single thing that anybody can do, somebody is making money from it. So no matter what it is, somebody is making money from anything you can imagine. From tying toes together, somebody's being paid to tie toes together. And that's what you have to realize is if you can sew, then you can make money from it. If you can clean, you can make money from it. If you can talk, you can make money from it. And this is the thing is that because we are so systematic from school, because to show up every day to learn the lesson and to take a test, because that's how we're taught, it stifles our creativity. And we forget, our brain stops thinking on how to use your natural gift to find a way in the world. We stopped doing that. I remember I had an assistant, a young man that went and got two master's degrees, and I was working with this young man, and I remember he was like, if I gave him a task, he was he could do 15 out of 10. If I graded him on a scale of 1 to 10, he could he would be a 15 if I gave him a task. But if I said, hey, if I say, hey, I need you to create a proposal for me, like look at the market, look at the industry, look at my gifts, look at what I do, and identify companies that would be a good sponsor for my tour. He could not do it. He could not do it. And it was because he had been in school for like 16, 17, 18 years. So the creativity was stifled and he had lost that ability. And then you'll see some people who have only went to 12th grade and become a millionaire. And so you have to identify that when you're identifying your gift and you're identifying your business, you got to identify those blind spots. You got to identify those weaknesses. You have to be real with yourself about what your life maybe has changed about your thought process, the way you think, the way you see the world, and because a lot of times we get too caught up and we either love school or we hate school. We either love the system or we hate the system, and we can't find that happy medium. And so, even though I don't have a college degree, I understand the benefits of what college does by teaching you to show up, to be timely, to be prompt, to do your work, to study, to learn, and to test out. Like I could understand the benefits of it, even though I went to college 8 years and didn't get a degree. But at the same time, I can see the flaws in it of how it can stifle creativity. So in your process, you got to look at what your life has done for you, because when you're looking at your gifts and you're looking at your skills and you're looking at your passions, so and just to break those down, your skill, a skill is something that you learn. That's something that you go, like a trade or a training. A skill is something that you pick up. It's something you learn. Your passion is something that intrigues you. So a passion could be something that you just, it challenges you and you're intrigued by it. And that's what we have to understand, that a gift and a passion may not be the same thing, because the gift could be so natural and come so easy that it doesn't challenge you nor does it intrigue you. But a passion could be so engaging or so intriguing or so challenging that you become passionate about it because of how it pushes you. And you have to understand that. And then a skill may not be a gift or it may not be a passion, but a skill can be a gift, and you can be gifted at a skill and you can be passionate about a skill. So you have to be able to differentiate between these things so that you can understand, your archetype, your personality, and how you work, how you operate. So I'm passionate about singing, but I cannot sing. I am not gifted at singing, but I love to sing, to hum and make little noise and turn on a song, and I swear I'm hitting the notes with Casey and JoJo or Mario or Neo or Jamie Foxx, whatever I'm listening, Marvin Sapp, Fred Hammond. I swear I'm hitting the note, and I know I be all off that note. And if that song go off before I done finish that note, and I get to hear myself, I'm like, oh Lord. It's so I have to be honest. Although I love harmony and I could love R&B or gospel music, that's not my gift. And this is one of the things that happen all the time is, as humans, we see other people's gift, we see other people's skill, we see other people's talent, which a talent and gift is like the same thing. It all depends on your definition and your dictionary. This me explaining it, and so you may see it slightly different. But I see people who try to do what they see someone else do, and someone else is gifted and successful at doing that. So I see people try to do that, and they are absolutely horrible at it. And it's cringe worthy. And I know you've seen somebody doing something and you're like, man, that is not your calling. That is not your gift. And that's how we get misled as humans, when we try to do things that we're not called to, that we're not gifted at. And we'll be overlooking our gift. So there are people who are speakers and they should be artists, meaning painters. There are people who are YouTubers, but they should be interior designers. Like there are people who are authors, but they should be singers. And a lot of times the reason why this happens is we, like, as humans, we try to do stuff that challenges us. And I always tell the story of one of my friends, is he was so gifted at graphic design, like just the way his mind could figure out software on a computer, and the way he could see design, the way he could do design. Like I'm in a UX UI class right now, which stands for user experience and user interface. And so I'm taking this class at the University of Miami, and it's like an intro class, and we're using Canva and Figma. And Figma looks a little hard for me, but Canva, they got a lot of templates, so it makes it a little easier. But I had a friend before Canva and Figma existed, whatever program was out there, my first book cover, What Daddy Never Told His Little Girl, when you go to Amazon and you search What Daddy Never Told His Little Girl, I published that book in 2007. When you look at that book cover in 2007, my friend who was 22 years old in 2007 published that book and published that book and he did that book cover for me. I paid him $100. That book cover looked better than book covers that's being published today in 2022. So that lets you know my friend gifted, but he just did not like it. He did not like it. And but what challenged him was making beats for music and rapping. And he's just not as good as making beats and rapping as he is graphic design. So right now today, had he stuck with graphic design, he literally could be the head of design for like Microsoft or Facebook or Instagram and making hundreds of thousands of dollars and have his own graphic design agency and maybe making a million. But he went to making beats and to rapping, and he has had zero success in it. And I talked to him about this, so I ain't talking bad about him. He knows that I keep it real like this, and he's had zero success at it. And that is what happens with so many of us is we chase a passion instead of utilizing a gift. We chase a challenge instead of operating in our gifts. And we don't take the time to inspect what our gifts are. Because see, with your gift is typically gonna be something that you are applauded on that you really don't even realize. Like my wife made a post yesterday of her outfit, and she had just got her hair, blow dried, and she posted in her story. And I have over 900,000 followers on Instagram, and I posted a little story yesterday that said, "Hey, I'm going live on YouTube." I only that story, it only got a little over 3,000 views. My wife has 50,000 followers. She posted her story, her bathroom selfie, and it then got 5,000 views. She don't even have 10% of my following, but that post and got over 5,000 views in less than 24 hours. And she has a knack for styling outfits. As simple and effortless as it may appear, it's a gift. So after experiencing her gift, it's hard for me to get dressed without asking her, what should I put on? Because she does it so easy. She sees the outfit so easy. But not everybody can do that. And we know that when we look at people outfits. We could tell not everybody is gifted at getting dressed. And this is what I mean. So many people wrote her, "Man, I love your style. Man, it's something about this outfit. Man, it's something about this picture." And she was showing me that's where our gift is. What are you praised for? What are you praised for that is effortless for you? Uh, a prime example, I'm driving and I'm teaching a class right now. And I'm driving and I'm holding the phone, I'm holding the steering wheel, I'm looking at the road, I'm in absolutely no danger. I see everything around me. I'm completely focused on the road, but yet I'm teaching an entire lesson that if you listen, it will change your life. So, guess what I know? I know that not every person could do this because I have rode in the car with people who just having a conversation with you in the car, they be about to wreck. If they do anything other than have them hands 10 and 2, they be about to wreck. It's people that cannot walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. And so we know, based on what you are praised for, that is your gift. And you got to pay attention to it. So think back to what your grandmother or your mother or your school teacher praised you for. What did they say you really good at? My mama used to always say, baby, you need to be writing for Hallmark. Baby, you can make some money from writing. And I ignored it because the only writer I had heard of was Langston Hughes. And I didn't know what Langston Hughes looked like. We just read a poem of his in school. And to me, I just thought that was lame. I was like, a writer, that has to be a lame guy. Like a writer, like I want to be a pro football player, a pro basketball player. A writer, that's lame because of where I grew up. Education was lame, writing was lame, but being a drug dealer or being an athlete or a rapper was cool. And so, but guess how I make a living today? From my writing. And I've written nearly 20 books. But that's what my mom would always praise me about. And she graduated high school, but she felt like she read and write on a fifth grade level. The time I hit fifth grade, I could spell better than my mother. And she would never try to move up in her job because she felt like she would fail the assessment that she would need to take to get a promotion. So she stayed at the entry level at the corporate office of State Farm Insurance because she didn't trust her reading and her spelling. And I say that to say, even though she didn't trust her reading and her spelling, she felt like I was very smart and she recognized the gift in me. And this is what you got to go back to. And this is how you get to the root of identifying your gift. And then when you identify your gift, you might be bored by your gift. You might look at your gift and say, "Man, I don't want to do that. I'm that's boring. That's too easy. I'm tired of that." But that's where your $1 million is. And this is why so many people are struggling today because they're overlooking their gift and they're on somebody's job. And they don't realize that if you can tap into your gift and you could build your dream while you own you make sure you listen, it's on islands to dream in the job until you see the bridge from your job to your dream job. And when I say dream job, I mean your gift job. It might not be your actual dream. And but it's a means to earn a living and it's a means to invest in developing skills that you may be passionate about. So you use your gift and you stand on the gift, and then the gift allows you to tap into passions and to skills. So $500, when you ask yourself, okay, do I have $500 today that I could invest in something I'm intrigued by? Can I go right now today and spend $500 to take a online course about something I want to learn? If the answer is no, spent enough, and somebody compliments her, that 20, you sold 100 dresses. You sold 100 dresses and you sold 100 dresses. Now you got $20 to $40 times 100. So you done made $2,000 to $4,000 in addition to the money you make on your job because you tapped into your gift. And this is what I mean. And so as you think about this, now I'm taking a UX UI class and it costs $500 to be in the class. Well, operating in my gift afforded me the $500 to invest in something that I'm developing a passion for. And that's what I mean. And so when you do this, you're going to start to see a business model. You're going to start to see a business model. And with this business model, you're going to see where you can charge to do what you do or charge to teach what you do or to teach what you know or to teach what you understand. You're going to see this. And when you see this, let me see, when you see this, now you realize you become the one-eyed person in the land of the blind. And so if your gift is research and you're great at reading and comprehending, you search on Google, you read 10 different articles, you take great notes, and then from those notes, y'all got to forgive them a little service, probably cutting out. I see the service keep freezing on here, and I'm in the middle of nowhere, and I'm the service. Can y'all hear me? The service went out. Let me know if you can hear me. Because I see I'm freezing, and then when I freeze, it'll start buffering for some people, and then some people it might stay connected, but I know it'll be kicking you off for here. Let me know if y'all can hear me or if I'm froze. Okay, you can hear me. All right. And so now I might miss if I go out, or I know some of us is gonna cut out, but I might miss because I'm driving, so I can't really look at you. But we kind of standing still almost. Well, not as back going. And so when you take and you look at the business model, you'll start to see that you're the one-eyed person in the land of the blind. And so somebody will take and start to pay you because they say, hey, you've taken a step further than me. So I want to pay you for what you know because you've learned how to do taxes or you've learned how to write a book or you've learned how to sew. And so can you teach me this? Because I struggle with going to Google and reading articles and learning how to do this. So can you help me one on one? And how much would you charge? And you say, okay, yeah, $25 an hour. And now you're being paid for that. And so this is what you have to get down to is using your gifts and turning your gifts into a business and just having one customer at a time. And then that one customer will turn into three customers, and then it's going to turn into five, then it's going to turn into 10. And then the next thing you know, you're making side income. And then that side income eventually can become full time income. And it may take 3 years, it may take 5 years. Some people, it may take longer than that. On average, what I see is 3 years. I typically see it take about 3 years for people to start earning a living, full time living, using their gifts. And so this is where you got to get to and identify if you spinning your tires in quicksand. If you only focused on a job, but you're not focused on your gift. If you only just focus on a paycheck every week or every 2 weeks or a salary, but not focus on your gifts. You got to identify that. You got to be real with yourself about that. And when you tap in that area, this is what you're going to understand is that you may not be gifted at your passion and you may not be passionate about your gift. But when you tap into your gift, you can give your gift purpose. And by giving your gifts purpose, purpose is serving and purpose is solving a problem. in somebody's life. That's what your purpose is. It's serving and it's solving. And so you could be a rapper and that could be your gift. But the rap makes you money. The rap may be entertaining. It might be dance music. And so people are dancing and you may feel like that's not really changing anybody's life. But from the money that you make, you can then start a nonprofit organization to help inner city youth or whatever you go to this location and learn how to make beats, learn how to play the guitar, learn how to make music. So now you have kids going to the library to learn Pro Tools or whatever software to make beats instead of being in the streets, instead of being in fornication at their house while their parents still at work. They're at the library in your program learning how to do what you do, whatever it is you do. Now you have given your gift purpose. And so I call this my proprietary thing that I had to trademark, and it's called the gap process. And the gap process is where you connect your gifts and purpose. That's what GAP stand for, gifts and purpose. So you're bridging the gap between your gifts and your purpose. And when you do that, now this is what makes using your gift and earning money meaningful and being a blessing to other people. So listen, sit down today. If you need to go in depth and kind of walk through it, I can't do the whole course right now because I can't remember my outline, but I put this in a course called Entrepreneurship with Purpose because some of y'all got this course for $5. You maybe have taken it, you maybe didn't take it serious because sometimes if you don't have to pay a lot, you think that it's not worth anything. But a part of my purpose is giving stuff away or making stuff so cheap that more people can get it. So if you're in the Entrepreneurship with Purpose course, and even right now, I got it listed at over 50% off. If you're in that course, sit down and go through that course. But after each video, take and write down, like jot down notes of what you learned and identify your gifts and identify your passions. And then see how you can marry your gifts and your passion. The gift and the passion could be the same thing. So if my gift is writing and my passion is writing, that's the same thing. But when I marry the gift of writing and the passion of writing, what does that, what baby does that produce? I think that demolishes. God bless you. God bless you. What baby does that produce? If my gift is writing and my passion is writing, I then can birth a book. I can birth a book. I can birth a blog. I can be a ghostwriter. So I could be a ghostwriter. I can be an author. I could be a blogger. I could be a copywriter for people websites, writing the copy. You ever go to somebody's website and you read the copy and it sounds real choppy. It's misspelled words. It's a lot of it sounds regional. Like you can tell where they are from based on how they wrote their bio or the copy on their website. If you have a gift with writing and you have a passion with writing, you could be a copywriter and make a whole lot of money writing better copy, copy that converts, copy that sells for people websites because that is a gift. Not most people cannot copyright. And so you have to understand that. And listen, everything is a service. Everything is a service. So because I'm a writer, I started writing people bios for $100. I write people bios. When I was in school, I would write poems for the boys. I would write their poem for their girlfriend for $5. Everything is a service. Your gift is a service. To write the copy for a site, you may charge $100 per page of that website. and go on up from there. It may get to be $500 per page. It's people making six figures as copywriters. It's people making good money as a freelance blogger or writing articles for different sites. And you submit the article and you may get paid 250 up to $1,000, depending on who you featuring and what you're writing about. And so jot down your gifts, the things you do that not everybody else can do. And then jot down your passion, the thing that you love to do in your free time, the thing that you love to do. And sometimes it might not be the same. So you can see how you can marry it. So if a gift is writing, but a passion is interior design, now when you marry the two, then you could be a writer for an interior design website. You could be a writer for an interior design magazine. You could start writing for Architecture Digest. Is that how it's the is that what it's called? And when you look at this, so it's a marriage between the gifts and the passion. And then the baby that they have is your business. It's your service. That's what you provide. Now, this is something that I didn't learn this anywhere. I didn't read this. I didn't read this in a book anywhere. This is something that I had to piece together through my entrepreneurial journey. This is something that I had to teach myself. This is something that I had to just process, which again, I realized that that is a gift. Don't be afraid about realizing your gifts. They don't make you arrogant. They don't make you prideful because you realize you better at something than other people. That it you A gift is also recognizing your gifts because some people have a whole bunch of gifts and they can't see their gifts. I do coaching sessions with people and they so gifted that they have $1 million gift and they cannot see it. But one of my gifts is being able to see that and turn it into business. And what I do is I say, okay, do this first, do this second, do this third, do this fourth, do this fifth, and that's a six-figure blueprint. That eventually, as your following grows, that'll be a seven figure. And if your following continue to grow, it'll be eight figures. On some gifts, there's no cap on it. And so that's what you got to understand. And if you sit down and you do the work internally, you're introspective and you be still, you're willing to be still, you're willing to talk to yourself, you're willing to not just talk, but to hear yourself, then you're going to realize and recognize that, and this is how I see the world. And a lot of people don't agree with this, a lot of people don't see this. But the way I see the world is that there is room for everybody. Because you have to remember, who were you created by? Some people y'all were created by a spontaneous combustion, to each their own. I believe in God. I believe I was created by a higher power, that humans was created by a higher power, and that humans were coded with the ability to reproduce other humans. And so I believe in God. And one thing I know is that God did not create institutions, meaning schools and universities. That was created by humans who were innovative, and they said, hey, we need to take the natural resources of this land and we could use this coal, we could use the wood, we could use the cotton. But in order for us to use these things, we got to put systems in place. And this is our idea. So this our family, this the Johnson family idea, this the Smith family idea, this the Williams family idea. But so this is our idea. Mm, 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 mm. Somebody had a wreck. Somebody had a wreck. Mm, 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 mm. Lord bless them. Lord, let them be all right. Got beside themselves. Mm, went to going too fast in the BMW. Then ran into the median. Ran into the guardrail. Mm. Lord bless them. Lord keep me safe while I'm trying to help your people in the name of Jesus. And so they say, hey, the the Roethlisberger, what do people call what the rich family call out of New York? Roethlisberger or somebody. So that family say, hey, we done figured out we could use this coal, we could use this cotton, we could use this wood, but we need somebody to come work it. We need somebody to work it. And so we got to create a school because we need to teach these people how to read, teach these people how to write, teach these people how to comprehend. We need to teach them to show up on time so that when they come work our business, they can keep this thing running. And so that's what the world was created. The 1% put the 99% to work, and the 1% retain the wealth. The 99% get put in debt. The 99% get kept in debt, and the 99% be job. You have a job. You just over broke. You uh, just over bothered, and but you got a job. But the way I see the world is, I see the world in a way that God gave us all a gift, and that each of us can be a small business. That every person is supposed to be a small business. That even if you work in a larger job, your gift is getting you paid 50,000, but out of that 50,000, you take 5,000 and you start your small business. So the job you working for is a big business that they could pay you 50, and then you invest 5,000 and start a small business. So it's like this. If my gift is to make a shoe, your gift is to make the sole. I could probably make the sides, but you make the sole. Now the next person make the laces. The next person make the the thing that's on the inside of it, not the sole, the bottom. You see what I mean? And then the next person make a sock. The next person make pants. The next person make shorts. The next person make a shirt. Somebody else make a jacket. Somebody make a denim jacket. Somebody make a wool jacket. It's all small businesses, but we all support each other. So it's like a marketplace where we going through the market and we buying from 10, 12 different people. But because we all, you know, we eventually gonna have nieces and nephews, or it's gonna be somebody that's gonna have enough kids for all us. And then some of us might have no kids. Some of us might not get married. Some of us gonna have enough wives for 10 men, and some are gonna have enough kids for 5 households. It's so many people that it can be a million people that do the same thing because we servicing 7 million people across the globe. And this is where people go wrong. People think that they can't use their gift because if they use their gift, it's too saturated, but you don't need the whole market. And that's why I tell people, like, when you like helping people and you like listening to people, and you could see the vision, you could see, you got the bird's eye view, and you could come in high level, and you can't see your own business, but you can see somebody else's business. You can't see your own gift, but you can see somebody else's gift. So the reason why you can't see your gift is because your gift is to see other people's gift. So that make you a coach. That make you a consultant. So people say, well, oh, I don't want to be a coach or a consultant because I can't I can't get enough clients. So when you think about this, how many people live in your city? How many people live in your city? So you might not, your job might not be your gift, that might be your skill. But if you use that skill and you get paid and your job pay you 50,000, With that 5,000, 10% that you invest into your small business, guess what 5,000 will do? 5,000 will start your LLC for $100 to $300. You start your LLC. Another $100 will get your business cards. Another $100 will get your website. $300 a month will give you a bus stop bench with your face on it. It got your face, it got your website, and that right there will get you clients. So I just, what did we just start a business with? $300 on an LLC, $100 on business cards, that's $400, $100 on a website, that's $500, and now $300 for a bus stop bench, that's $800. Off that bus stop bench, if you get one client and you bust your butt and you overserve, you undersell and you over deliver, now the life of that client could be thousands of dollars. But that client is gonna tell their sister, gonna tell their brother, gonna tell their mama, gonna tell their daddy. So one client is gonna turn into three different clients. And then three clients gonna turn into 30 clients. So just in your city alone, if you could get 10 clients, them 10 clients could end up earning you a living. But a lot of people don't launch their business because they think they need thousands and thousands of clients. But you just got to get started with one client that you knock their socks off. So get you one client, knock their socks off, and now that client bring in your other clients. Now you making money. One client take you 1 hour a week. So you spend an hour a week, you're gonna spend an hour on this video. So now if you spend an hour on this video, your next hour need to be on identifying your gifts and identifying a marketplace for your gifts. So one client equals 1 hour a week. The work week is 40 hours. So you still could work a job and you take an hour from television or you take an hour from social media and you give that hour to that one client. Then that turn into two clients and the three clients. You got 168 hours in a week or something like that. So you could work up to 80 hours in a week. I mean, yeah, in a week. You could work up to 80 hours. Even though that 40 hours is a lot, you could work up to 80 hours. And you still got a whole another 80 hours to sleep. So when you think about this, you could work a full-time job and still service 5 to 10 clients. So you can balance the dream and the job and be building your dream job while you working a full-time job. And that's what you got to realize and understand. So listen, watch this over and over. It's simple and it's also easy. The hard part is getting over the negative self-talk. That's the hard part. The hard part is stop listening to the doubters and the naysayers. That's the hard part. A lot of times, people who are deemed ignorant or uneducated become the. Now, there are people who are very smart, but education, but they may have self-education. Jim Rohn says formal education will make you a living, self-education will make you a fortune. And so, what does school teach us? School teaches us a process. So, because school teaches us a process, when we go into business, if you have too many processes, then you never produce anything because you're always analyzing it. That's where some genius created analysis paralysis, because if you too schooled, then you will over analyze every move. Was it Edison? Was it Edison who said he failed 1,000 times before he created the light, or whoever it was with electricity? It was somebody. But again, I'm not that schooled. I didn't pay much attention in school, but I earned seven figures because I put into action. I take action and I make the mistakes. See, what I'm doing right now, I should not be doing this. I should not be driving and talking to you at the same time. But no, and some people, this scares some people to death. It scared them to death. So because it scared them to death, what do? They die. They're a dead man walking because they scared to death to launch. They scared to death to take action. They scared to death to take a chance, to take a risk, to take a gamble, and they never get anything out of life. There's a quote that says, if you wait until every light is green before you leave home, you will never go anywhere. And that's what some people do. They sit in their house and they wait until every light is green. But what do we know about traffic? We have learned that when one light is green, another light is red. And so you can go through a green light and then get hit with a yellow light, and you can squeak through the yellow light, but then you get hit with a red light. And if you run the red light, you get a ticket. So there is starting and stopping is a natural process of building anything. Starting, stopping, resetting, resting, all of this is a natural process. So when you look at your life like a road to destiny, if you look at your life like a road to destiny, when you on the literal road, what do you have to do? You stay in your lane. You stay in your lane. I got an ebook about this. It's called The Road to Destiny. They might have took it down because the quality was so poor, but it was on Kindle and it was called The Road to Destiny. And I was talking about, and I made analogies of being on your road to destiny is like being on the real road. So being on this road, you stay in your lane. In business, if you are single, then you should not be a marriage coach. You should be a singles coach. If you are in debt and with bad credit, then you should not be a finance coach. If you are out of shape, then you should not be a personal trainer. So if you want to be successful, you stay in your lane. Another lesson on the road to destiny is you keep your eyes on the road. You are looking at me, but because I'm on the road, my eyes are on the road. You keep your eyes on the road because if you are looking to the left and you're looking to the right too much, you're going to get envious of the vehicles other people are using. You got to be appreciative that you have a vehicle that will get you from point A to point B. But if you are looking at the next person's vehicle, you're going to be envious and it's going to make you want to stop your process. You also eventually going to crash. The other thing is you have to look through the windshield more than you look through the rear view mirror. Because if you keep looking back at your pain, if you keep looking back at your trauma, if you keep looking back at your failures and at your mistakes, then you are going to crash into where you're trying to go. You're not going to get there because you're going to run off the road. Another lesson on your road to destiny is you have to be careful not to pick up a hitchhiker, because if they are hitchhiking, God got a lesson for them to get on that walk. I know that sounds harsh, but they walking for a reason, and you driving for a reason. You could wave, you could say, "Hey, keep your head up." You could give them $5, but you need to let the hitchhiker walk, because that hitchhiker might be a serial killer. That hitchhiker might have cursed out their whole family, did their whole family wrong, did all their friends wrong, and that's why they have nobody to call, nobody to birth to them. The people who grew up with them then turned their back on them. So that person might need to hear from God. We're not judging them. You can help them, give them some food, give them some money. But if they keep walking, they eventually gonna run into a rest stop. They gonna see the rest stop, but God gonna get a message to them on their road to Damascus. That's how Jesus reached. My service acting up. So if this here freeze on me, y'all pause for a second, and we'll pause and try to let it come back before it before I cut it off. I try to let it come back so y'all understand that. And and every time it freezes, it's gonna kick people off. So you may have to refresh and come back on if you get kicked off. And this another lesson. When you on the road, when you on your road to destiny, there will be storms. There will be high winds. There will be roadblocks. There will be detours. There will be wrecks. What does one wreck cause? One wreck could cause another wreck. A wreck could cause rubbernecking. Somebody, a genius, came up with the term rubbernecking because we start rubbernecking when somebody else then got into a little wreck. And then we'll end up hitting the car in front of us because we rubbernecking. So see, on your road to destiny, another lesson is this in my ebook now. I made an ebook called The Road to Destiny. It's on Kindle, I think. If it ain't on Kindle, if you got Kindle and you search The Road to Destiny, Tony Gaskins, and it don't come up, let me know so I could republish it. Because Kindle started deleting people ebooks if it wasn't up to standard. And I wrote the ebook in like 2 hours, and I just turned it into a PDF and I uploaded it. I didn't get it formatted. I ain't do nothing special. And so Kindle might have took it down. It might be on my old computer that crashed. And so listen to me now. Listen to me. So now on your road to destiny, you cannot spend too much time at the rest stop. You can't spend too much time at the rest stop, because what's going to happen if you spend too much time at the rest stop? You're not going to get to where you got to go on time. Rest is productive, but you can't sit for too long. If you sit for too long, also, what's going to happen if you sit for too long? And y'all let me know if you can hear me. If you sit for too long at the rest stop, you're going to get robbed because you're going to be a sitting duck. So when you look at your road to destiny, what I mean by that is if you're sitting on your ideas, if you're resting on your ideas for too long, eventually you will be robbed of your ideas. Y'all give me 1 second. Y'all forgive me, I had to plug my phone in. My my service cutting out. So I'm gonna go and finish this up now. So my service keeps cutting out. And when my service cut out, I kick everybody off and then it come back. Now, and I'm gonna go and get off of here too, because I need to lock all the way in. Now see when I'm doing this, what I'm doing is I'm just pretending that you in the front seat with me. That's why I'm not looking at the phone because my eyes on the road, but I'm pretending you in the front seat with me. And when you on the road, a lot of times you have a lot more clarity than when you in the office or you somewhere else. Sometimes when you go on a drive, you have more clarity than you have when you sitting still. And so that's why I shoot videos when I'm in the car. A lot of people don't realize why, and it's really just because of the sound of the road. It kind of block out all them extra thoughts, and you can receive a message, and you can have clarity about the stage that you in your life. Now, the point that I was making about the hitchhikers is, and why you have to be careful picking up a hitchhiker. Now, God might put on your spirit, and God might say, "Hey, pick up this set of hitchhikers. I mean, pick up this hitchhiker right here." You might hear that in your spirit, but I doubt it because God gonna bless everybody with their vehicle when they ready to receive their vehicle. But the thing, what I mean by hitchhikers, is one of the biggest mistakes that we make as humans on the road to destiny is we go into business and we partner with people. I have worked with and saw so many people go into business with somebody else. It's been so many people who have gone into business with somebody else, and it hindered or stifled or ruined or diverted them from destiny because they went into business with someone else. And by doing that, they ruined everything because the other person had another vision. The other person was not clearly hearing from God. So you could be hearing from God, you could be living right and doing right, and someone else, okay, feeling good, hit that gas, huh? And someone else, and see, this is the thing. Sometimes people will partner with you because they don't want to watch you succeed. But they know if they sit on your wing that you can't soar. They know if they sit on your wing, you can't climb. Partner with you because they know your personality type is gonna make it happen. And because they know your personality type is gonna make it happen, they know that by default they will be successful. They will be successful because you will not quit. You will not give up. But you thought you needed a partner because your weakness was self-doubt. You will go in spite of than you even just a little bit. So having a partner makes you feel like you have somebody who could be somebody who wants to live off of you. So the coach to be careful when you pick up hitchhikers. So sometimes this connection will be platonic coworker who partners with you in business, and they're not sleeping with you, they're not dating you, but yet they still draining you. And then sometimes the hitchhiker could be someone you get into a relationship with, a boyfriend or a girlfriend, a husband or a wife who sees that you are gifted. They see that you're going somewhere. They see that you're going to be a high producer. And so they pretend to like you and they pretend to want to be with you. But it's really, they want your anointing. They want to benefit from where you are going and they want to benefit from what you are doing. But if you have that little, if you have that blind spot, you got that blind spot where you don't see them. You don't see them coming because you felt like you needed somebody in order for you to go somewhere. So you say, "Oh, I'm on the road to destiny, but I'm riding alone. So let me pick up this hitchhiker so that I got somebody to talk to." And then that hitchhiker end up distracting you and costing you everything. Now, another lesson on the road to destiny, and y'all let me hurry up and get done. Another lesson, the enemy trying to block this here now. Y'all know how it be now. When I get on here now, when I get on here and the spirit go to moving, everything go to happen on this live. People be on live, don't nothing be going on. If they talk about celebrity gossip, but that live be smooth. You get on here, you talk about spiritual stuff, but that live go to acting up. So listen to me now. And I'm driving slow too. And this car here trying to make a point when they pass me. Listen, I got all my faculties. I have to be safe. So listen to me. You on the road to destiny, you have to make sure that the people riding with you have gas money. See, a lot of times you taking people with you and they ain't got no gas money. And I'm not talking about your dependents. I'm not talking about the kids you done had, the kids you done adopted, the sickly parents that you taking care of. I'm not talking about dependents. I'm talking about grown, able-bodied, stable-minded human beings who are riding with you because of where you are going, and they are not putting anything in the tank. You have to make sure that the people riding with you have gas money. If they ain't got gas money, you're gonna have to find an exit and you're gonna have to drop them off at their cousin's house, at they classmate house. You may have to take a detour to say, yeah, I'm gonna be staying here in this city for a little bit. So you got anybody in this city that I could drop you off to? Because I got to stay with my uncle, so it ain't enough room for both of us. And they gonna figure something out. Oh well, you know what? Drop me over to Erlene house. I'm gonna give her a call and drop me to Erlene house. And you're gonna have to drop him to Erlene house. And as soon as you drop him to Erlene house, Lord forgive me for lying. Lord forgive me for telling that lie. And then you get back on the road to destiny. You cannot have people who are able-bodied riding with you on the road to destiny if they ain't put nothing in the gas tank. And friends, sometimes girlfriends, sometimes in gas tank don't necessarily mean putting something in the gas tank don't necessarily mean money. Remember, this a metaphor now. This a metaphor. Don't take everything literal now. You can't take this literal. This for spiritual ears. A carnal mind might not understand what I'm talking about. So if you don't understand nothing I'm talking about, it's a little clue that you might have a carnal mind. God bless you now. We praying for you, but keep your head up. Keep going. And so now, listen, don't take this too literal because somebody could be filling your tank up with love. And I ain't talking about dropping no D off on you or dropping no P off on you. I'm talking about love, meaning inspiration, encouragement, knowledge. They buying you a book to read. They buying you a course. Somebody wrote in the other day and say they want to buy their cousin some courses. That's gas money. That's gas to be a mechanic, or they got to have gas money. Come on now, you can't have somebody who you can't fix no car, or you can't help pay to fix no car. No, you're gonna have to become a hitchhiker. That person gonna have to become a hitchhiker. Hey, let me go on, get on off of here, man, because this thing keep acting up. But I done gave you the road to destiny. I done gave you the road to destiny. I still got another hour where I got to go. I done gave you the road to destiny blueprint. That's pretty much all the analogies that I had in that ebook. I wrote this ebook probably 2012, 2010, something like that, and I published it on the Kindle. And so what I just was sharing was from that ebook. I don't know what I left out, and that ebook probably got typos in it because I just wrote it in one go, in one draft. I published the rough draft, and that's how I do my work. That's how I do my work. Everything you get from me is not everything ain't gonna be polished that you get from it. And again, personality types. So if you pick up somebody who they do their work different, they could slow your process down. So if you're gonna partner with somebody, you got to make sure that their strengths are your weaknesses and your weaknesses are their strengths. But y'all still moving forward. Not somebody who just gonna fuss and fight with you and argue and have you stagnant. So hey, God bless y'all. I got to get going. Um, got calls coming in. So listen back to this. If you missed any part of it, it cut out several times. But when it cut out, I tried to stop talking. One time I was still talking because the battery was going dead. So it paused the video. But God bless y'all and thank y'all for those of y'all who sent that blessing. If I missed it, forgive me because my eyes on the road. But God bless y'all and we'll be in touch. And I got to try to look at the phone to turn this here off.